All right, everybody. To all my other hustlers out there, I took an L today, and I'm going to share my story so that you don't fall into the same pitfall that I did. So a couple years back, a company came out called Yotta Savings, and the whole concept was to be like a high yield savings account that also had the added benefit of allowing your money to be converted, or not converted, but to earn you tickets based on the balance you hold in the account to be submitted into like weekly lottery drawings. You never lost money, is what they said. It's just based on, I think it was like $250 earned you one ticket, things like that. So I gave it a shot, and things were going pretty damn good, to be honest. I was making interest on my money, and then every so often I'd hit one of these little jackpots. I think the 10 million was a big one, right? Obviously never anything like that, but little jackpots, and I was like, damn, this is pretty cool. And for a moment, I was like, man, it seems a little too good to be true, right? How are they just giving away all this money? But they had that label, FDIC insured, on it. So I was like, okay, sounds like it's government's got my back. So let me max out. There was a cap on how many tickets you could have. But I was like, let me move some money from my other savings account that's not making this much, and I'll just max out that amount required to max the tickets. All right, fast forward a bit into the future when I start getting messages and emails saying, don't worry, people, we know you can't access your money. We know people have been having troubles withdrawing. We'll figure this out. And right away, I'm like, that's not a good sign. Sure enough, these idiots had given away too much money and ended up filing for bankruptcy. As you can imagine, there were a lot of pissed off people. I didn't lose my cool. I was like, okay, luckily I don't need that money and it's FDIC insured. So I just laid back and let it go. Fast forward again, several months later, I'm talking about a lot of months, maybe even a year. And I finally received a payout of my funds, which was much less than it should have been. So I looked into it, and it said that the company itself, the FinTech company, Yotta, and Synapse was the name, the company's name. Obviously, they went under. Now, the money was being held in a bank called Evolve Bank and Trust. And Evolve said, hey, we hear a lot of people saying they didn't get all their money back. We're working on it. Chill. So again, I sat back and let things ride out. Again, assuming FDIC insured, I'm good. Well, fast forward again, I got another small payout, still not enough, and then I started getting spam emails saying, okay, that's all the money. If you want anything else, I know a lot of people are angry. You got to go talk to your senator and see if they could do anything for you. And that's when I got pissed off. So I reached out to my attorney. I'm like, this is some bullshit, and what can you do what can you figure out to do for me? Again, thinking FDIC insured. Well, fast forward once again, and my attorney finally got back to me and said, nothing we could do. Just take the L. Our options are pretty much out. And here is why. Okay, so Yotta, again, Synapse Brokerage, and whatever their other company was called, Financial Technologies. Remember, they're the ones who I signed the agreement with. They're the ones who were managing this whole lottery and interest payments and all that. But they had partnered with Evolve Bank and Trust to hold the money, right? Since Evolve is an actual bank, financial establishment. So since Yotta and Synapse went under, they're no longer in the equation. The FDIC insurance, regardless, is on the bank, not the FinTech company, right? So now Evolve Bank and Trust is telling people, hey, sorry, that's all the money we're going to give out because that's all the money that we can allegedly verify. Meaning that they keep saying we have no records of anything. We were letting Synapse and Yotta do all the record keeping, and whatever ledgers and things they had don't match ours, so that's it. Meaning that they did send up a site to appeal the amount you get, but if you submit an appeal, which I tried, it says even if you have bank statements from Yotta, from your Yotta account, that is not sufficient evidence to them. So Evolve is over here saying, sorry, you you're shit out of luck. You can't force us to give you money. And even if you give us bank statements, we're going to say that's not our bank. So fuck you, fuck off. So at this point, I've put enough time and effort into this thing, right? I'm just going to take the L and move on. But I've learned some lessons, which is why I want to share it with you. One, that story, and then here's what I'll do in the future, and I hope you do too. Number one, remember the age-old adage, if it seems too good to be true, probably is. And with that, beware of all these fintech companies that are out there that partner with banks, right, to hold your money. Because these banks that they partner with have no accountability as to what the fintech companies are telling you. All of those user agreements that you agree to along the way, there's all these legal layers and things that you're signing off and you're agreeing to and you're waiving. And all of that bureaucracy and legal wording gives these banks the ability to tell people, not our problem, you go deal with it. We have no accountability as to the people we partner with, which I think is absolute bullshit. Number two, spread your money around. At some point, right? Don't just have a bunch of small bank accounts. But with that being said, I was able to take this L and not really stress about it too much because I didn't have all my eggs in that basket. Number three, definitely do not trust the government to keep you safe. These rich fucks are always going to find a way to get around regulations and things like that. And when they do, the government's not going to have your back. Which leads me to number four is that we have to have each other's back, right? So then part of the reason I'm making this video is to get your back and vice versa. Now, what I mean by that is we can't be trusting regulatory agencies to keep businesses honest, right? What we need to do, especially in this day and age of information, is start sharing things like this, sharing experiences like this. Like, it boggles my mind that companies like Wells Fargo that has been in the news so many times for all the terrible shit they do to customers, is still in business. It's like, why don't we hear these things? Why don't we share these experiences? And if there's a shitty business out there, hey, we as consumers, the onus is on us to not do business with them. That is what's going to keep the ethical companies in business and let shitty businesses go under. So my ask with this video, my call to action is that you heed the warnings, you take the tips, and you ideally don't fall into this pitfall. I want you to do good for yourself. I want everybody out there, all my hustlers out there, to build the life of your dreams. And of course, the second thing is don't do business with those fuckers at Evolve Bank and Trust. Fuck them. I'm out.